Well, happy Easter. That's how they feel. Anyways, can't believe I just did that. So it's Easter, and I already started off shaky. The baskets are ready. I didn't make them. I had one job. I just had to put them out before I went to bed. Well, guess what? I got all weird and then didn't go to bed. Like, it just fell asleep on my bed. So I'm woken up by Grayson. Like, he's like, "Hey, wake up." And I think I have work. So I panically wake up and I'm like, "Oh my God, what time is it?" And then he's like, "Where's the Easter baskets?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's not, I don't even work." So I'm relieved, but now I'm like freaking tripping. Like, oh my God, Rodney. So I had to gaslight my son. Like, I literally gaslit my son today. So what I did is I was like, well, go upstairs. Let me go figure out what's going on. So of course I go out, I scramble around, I get him out there. I'm sorry, Amanda. I get him out there and I put him on the couch, and then I take a blanket and I put up the blanket over them, right? And then, like, I'm sitting there and he comes downstairs. He's like, "I've looked everywhere. I looked outside." I was like, "I know, I don't know what's going on." Here, I sit next to the blanket. I have him, I say, "Have a seat. Let's give this dude a call. Let's figure out what's up." And he sits down and he sits on the blanket, and he hears something crinkle, and he's like, "Wait a minute." And he turns around and he lifts up the blanket and he's like, "I didn't even look here." So I came off on that one, luckily. And they're good, they're excited. I'm running to the gym really quick. I'm gonna get my workout in, and then I'm gonna come home and get them all ready for service, which is at 11:30. I want to be there, early. And so, yeah, here I'm beating myself up. I was beating myself up, man. And what I forgot is that, well, how was last Easter? Were they knocking on the door the whole time trying to figure out what's going on with Dad? So, don't beat yourself up, Rodney. Come on, man. You're clean. You woke up clean. You actually woke up. You didn't stay up the whole night through. You woke up. It's all good. Today's going to be a good day. I'm already like, well, what about like this? What about with that? No. What about this? You're clean today. You're going to take them to service. When the hell have you done that? For Easter. It's been a couple years. And you're going to take them out to eat. And we're going to have a good day. And that's the bottom line, So happy Easter, Rodney. Quit beating yourself up about bullshit, because that's bullshit, really. Like, to beat yourself up about how you had to. They still had the same effect. I feel bad for their mom, because she made that all happen. And she's at a different household. So I sent videos to her, and that way she at least gets that experience. And she'll be good for her kids today. So, like, instead of me tripping, just, be grateful that their mom is going to be good for their kids today. And, yeah, quit tripping, dude. It's all good. It's all to the good. So, happy Easter to anybody watching this. This is all about my higher power. I talk about higher power all the time, and my higher power is this. And so I want to give thanks to my higher power, not just for me, but what my higher power did for me. That's what I believe. What my higher power did for me. So I could sit up in a room and be a fucking junkie. Sorry, I know it's Easter and I just cussed. sorry, to today, I get to be a parent for them and do the things that you do on an Easter and still be able to get this in for myself. That's what my higher power did for me. My higher power helped me get through all of this because God is always going to be there for me, no matter what. Even in the dark, God is there for me, sitting there, waiting, watching all the demons around me, my dark, while I figure out these years, so I can then give back and be that person to help somebody one day that is struggling and had a shitty Easter. So I can let them know, let me tell you about a couple of my Easters. And then let me tell you about some good Easters. And I say that plural because this is a lifelong journey from here on out. I will die clean. They call that the infinity coin. I will die clean. I am very determined about that. But, that's overthinking and that's overstressing, and it's just for today. If I died today, I would be clean. And I don't think that's going to happen. I am truly grateful that I am a recovering addict and not still in it. I am truly grateful that I have people in my life that care for me and look up to me. And I am truly grateful for where I'm at today. I wouldn't have it without my higher power. I wouldn't have it without my recovery. I wouldn't have it without these videos. And so now I'm going to go do this, and then what we're going to go do is celebrate the resurrection of my higher power and why I believe that person was put on a cross, who did not sit in a room in the dark while his kids were downstairs, just so he can punish himself throughout the rest of the week and not be there for them throughout the week because he was so busy being self-centered about what he did wrong, to this guy who's going to show them that anybody can pick themselves up. Anybody. I don't care where you're at in life. Your circumstance may be way different than mine. It may be a lot worse than mine. But if I was in that same situation, I know I would have the ability to also pick myself up. It's just a thing. It's an action thing. The things I do don't require a circumstance. And I've seen people right off the streets do exactly what I'm doing to get better. And I hear what they have to say. And I know some of them that have better circumstances than me, that had worse circumstances than me, do it. It can be done. It doesn't happen for everybody, and the percentages are small. And if you feel like you're in that small percentage and you're ready to do what you got to do, then you're in the percentage where you need to be. Because that small percentage of people who actually make it happen are some of the fucking most amazing people on this planet. They're kind. They make amends. They make mistakes. They make up for those mistakes. And they do the next right thing, always. And they share about them. They share about them. If somebody dies in their family that's really close to them, they're in a meeting. They're not in a trap house. You have what it takes. You have the ability to do whatever you got to do. It's all walks of life. Doesn't matter race, age, creed, religion, lack of religion, sexual identity. Doesn't matter. Narcotics Anonymous takes all. And so does my higher power. And so does your higher power. And if you don't have a higher power, that's okay. Start with surrender. Start with the surrender. That's your part. That's my part. We do that without a higher power. And then from there, we find something out there. And that's what helps us get through the next minute, hour, day, second sometimes. It can be done. So I wanted to do a video where I gave thanks to God, because that's what I believe in. And make today not just a higher power day for me. I believe in that in this program, but today is for God. Today is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I believe in that 100%. Happy Easter. If you're breathing, you made it. If you're awake, you made it. If you stayed up through the night and you're scrolling and you've come upon this video and you're thinking of, I'm just going to go ahead and try this meeting thing he's talking about, you fucking made it. If you're loaded and you just don't want to get loaded anymore and you're about to go into a meeting, you made it. You made it. This isn't about me trying to convert anybody to anything. This is me for my love to myself, my kids, and then to my higher power, to God, and to do my part in spreading what is helping me out. And then just go into one of those places and find your higher power. But first, surrender. If your life is unmanageable and you can't stop getting loaded, and I don't care what it is you take to get loaded, dude, I don't care if it's gambling. I don't care if it's pornography. I don't care if it's shopping. If your life is unmanageable because of it and you obsess over it and there's nothing you can do, you can't stop doing it, you might have what I have. It just might not be as bad as, you know. So I love you. I love you, Lord. And I love you guys. And if you're watching this and we kind of know each other, we haven't talked, or we talk, I love you too. It's going to be okay. Everything happens exactly the way it was intended, and nothing happens by mistake. And I believe that. And because I start believing that, and I believe that, everything works out. I'll still overtrip over little stuff, like the baskets weren't out long enough. But as I start to refocus myself, my higher power gets in my head and says, whoa, 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 whoa. Remember that time you were looking for eggs with the kids, but if the video hit you, you got super upset because of how you looked? And then when people walked by, you turned to the side so they didn't have to see you? You don't have to live like that today. You can look people directly in the eye. You're okay, man. You got this. Just keep doing what you're doing. That's what my higher power says to me. Have a good day.